In the FNAF universe, so much of what we know comes from little hidden mini-games, clues, and uncovered secrets. In order to really get a sense for the story, you have to dig. But hey, that's what we love about FNAF. Welcome back, my fellow gamers. This is Top 10 Gaming, and I am your host, Amanda McKnight. Today we'll be counting down our top 10 FNAF hidden lore clues and revisiting some of our favorite lore-based dig sites, new and old. Let's get into it. Number 10, Sister Location Intro. At the beginning of Sister Location, we get a major clue as to where the authorities are at when it comes to their views and suspicions surrounding William Afton. This is definitely something that is very noticeable, as it's dialogue over top of a cutscene showcasing close-ups of Circus Baby. So not super hidden, but it's also just something that I find doesn't get talked about a lot, so kinda hidden in that regard, if that makes sense. Maybe other people don't think it's a huge deal, but I think it's pretty important in regards to tracking William Afton's story. Based on the interrogation we are privy to, it seems as though William Afton might be the main suspect in a missing persons case, implying that the authorities are already onto him and may have even at some point caught him, or William simply went on the run after this and remained incognito for as long as necessary, as he was a wanted man. Either way, it sheds some important light on just how dangerous and potentially well known he is by the police in the FNAF universe. Makes you wonder how anything related to these animatronics could have ever been allowed to continue. Number 9. Lefty. Lefty is the animatronic that you can salvage or purchase in Pizzeria Simulator. We'd later learn that its initials were the clue to a dark secret that lurks within the animatronic, revealing that it is not alone or ever really kinda sentient on its own either. Lefty stands for Lure, Encapsulate, Fuse, Transport, and Extract. Initially, you might think this refers to Lefty being an animatronic used for kidnapping and capturing the souls of innocent victims, and that could also be part of the meaning behind the acronym name, but it also happens to be the animatronic that contains within it the puppet, who used Lefty to sneak into the pizzeria and resides within the animatronic. With this animatronic, you get two really for the price of one. It's definitely creepy, but also kind of efficient, at least for the purpose of collecting all the animatronics in order to free the souls trapped within them, which we find out was actually our purpose this entire time. After all, the puppet is one of the animatronics whose soul does need to be freed. So yeah, let Charlie be free! And friends, before we move on to this next spot, if you are loving this list and you want us to discuss more hidden clues, secrets, and all those good bits of lore, be sure to let us know by giving this video a thumbs up. Every time you click that like, a new secret is revealed. It's true. Someone somewhere is reading something and is like, oh, I figured out another piece of the puzzle! Number 8. The Immortal and the Restless. The Immortal and the Restless is the name of the soap opera that we get to watch on our time away from work in between shifts in Sister Location. And by we, I mean us playing as the protagonist, Eggs Benny, aka Michael Afton. The Immortal and the Restless is believed, however, to be more than just good ol' entertainment. Many fans believe it in itself is a hidden clue and allusion to the real-world life of William Afton and Mrs. Afton. Real-world life. Clara is meant to be a stand-in for Mrs. Afton, and Vlad is meant to be a stand-in for William, aka Mr. Afton. Vlad is cold and turns away from Clara, who insists that her son is actually his and the result of their love affair, but Vlad remains in denial. People think that this is meant to symbolize William Afton turning away from his family and his wife, thereby driving Clara, aka Mrs. Afton, away. It's unclear as to if he actually refused to acknowledge Michael as his own son, or if Mrs. Afton actually set the house that they lived in on fire, but most people think it's all meant to be more symbolic than literal. Number 7. Ness. We all know Vanessa, who is supposed to be one of the principal characters in the newest FNAF game, Security Breach, but is Vanessa also Ness from the emails seen in the FNAF AR mobile game Special Delivery? It seems like the answer could be yes, based on the creepy context we see from these emails sent to her. It also seems to be implied in these emails that Ness or Vanessa, if it is her, was a security transfer. These hidden clues even give us an idea of Vanessa's date of birth, with her username in some emails being Nessie97, as in 1997. The year she was born? Number 6. Hidden compartment. Blueprints from Sister Location revealed this disturbing and hidden bit of lore. Through them, we learned of the hidden compartments within some animatronics' chest cavities. Freddy had one, and Circus Baby had one as well. And the other surprising fact is that we found these compartments because they seemed to be full, or at least were imagined as being full in these blueprints. With the chest cavities or stomachs of these animatronics, we saw little bodies curled up into a fetal position. It seemed like these animatronics were indeed made for kidnapping unsuspecting and naive victims. Small victims. Number 5. Vanessa A. Another huge clue that came from the emails and special delivery seems to indicate that Vanessa could indeed somehow be related to the Afton family. That comes from an employee listing where we learn, like I said earlier, about her transfer. We are given the name Vanessa A there, and that one initial for her last name, A, sticks out like a sore thumb. What else begins with A, you ask? Only one of the most important surnames in all of FNAF lore, that of William and his family, Afton. This has led fans to believe that Vanessa could actually be Vanessa Afton and has some direct relation to the family tree. But the question remains, if Vanessa is an Afton, just how is she related to William and the gang? Number 4. Ballora's song. The fate of Mrs. Afton is something that has been alluded to a few times in the games, but something that has yet been undefined is who exactly she is. We don't even know her name, nor do we know exactly her relationship to William Afton. We assume that the two are romantically involved and have children. Part of the reason why we assume the romance is because of this clue. That is the animatronic Ballora and her song. Ballora sings about missing someone who it seems has withdrawn into themselves. Before, she and this person were once happy, but now they have shut her out and resigned themselves to loneliness, closing up. It is possible this song is meant to represent the separation that happened between William Afton and Mrs. Afton, or is meant to symbolize his grief over losing her. Number 3. 1997 plus 23 equals 2020. Math! Another huge clue that we get from special delivery, with the help of some basic math of course, is the year in which security breach likely takes place. We can piece together that Nessie, Ness, or Vanessa was born in 1997 based on her username. We then know that Vanessa A is listed as being 23 years old, and from there we can figure out, if we add those two numbers together, that if Vanessa is 23 in the present day, which we assume these emails are from, the security breach takes place in 2020, when Vanessa A would have likely gotten transferred and of course be 23. Now this could be a red herring, and a security breach could be set in a different year, either in Vanessa's past or her future, or perhaps Vanessa from security breach is not Vanessa A or Ness at all from special delivery. But that would be a lot of weird coincidences and misleads when it comes to what appears to be pretty direct clues, if you piece them together. Number 2. Mrs. Afton's fate? Mrs. Afton's fate has been a much debated topic. In fact, it's even been debated if Mrs. Afton ever existed at all. We are led to believe, however, based on the clues we gather along the way from the games and the books, that it is very likely that some version of her existed. Whether she was married to William Afton, or was only his girlfriend, or perhaps his one-time lover. Mrs. Afton, or whatever her name might be, is believed to be the mother of William Afton's children. But we don't really know what happened to her after that. Did she leave William? Did she die? Did they get a divorce? In the book end story 1:35 AM from Fazbear Frights, we see an allusion to her with a connection to a line in Sister Location. Based on this story and that line, both of which potentially being clues, it seems as though Mrs. Afton may have actually died in Circus Baby's entertainment and rental in the Sister Location, possibly an event. The question is, was her death just a tragic yet unavoidable fate? Or were the animatronics responsible? Or was William perhaps himself behind it? If that is, after all, even what happened. Number 1. Evan. Crying Child's place in the Afton family, and even his very existence to some extent, has been debated for quite some time. But recently we finally may have made a breakthrough in terms of understanding who he is as a character, or at the very least what his name is. Based on a potentially solved puzzle from the survival logbook, we've been led to believe that Crying Child may in fact be named Evan. However, it is possible that this isn't the solution we were meant to find, and that the puzzle still remains unsolved. But due to Evan being the name for a character who seemed to be the younger brother of Michael that appeared in Fazbear Fright's Blackbird story, The Real Jake, it seems like Evan may actually be the name and identity of Crying Child. Did we solve it? I think we solved it! What are some of your favorite hidden clues? Which secrets have you uncovered that left you the most shocked and surprised? Are you excited for Security Breach? Let us know in the comments below. And speaking of comments, it is time to turn to some comments from one of our latest videos, Top 10 Scary FNAF Alternate Fan-Made Versions of Mangle. Wow, that's a long title. Ethan Campos shares, "I believe all fan games are canon, so the story never ends." I like the way you approach that, Ethan. I like it. Keep it up. Shy32 responds, "Mangle is for sure a leader of mine, personal top favorite and top scariest. And expressionist Mangle will give me some nightmares." I love it. I love it too, and I'm with you. It will also give me some nightmares. Cody Smith comments, "I just realized Phobia Mangle has a human skull in its head." Yeah, Phobia Mangle has a lot going on, and there are just lots of little pieces that you'll pick out that you're like, and there's that thing. Okay, I'm uncomfortable. It's great. And that's all the time we have for comments today. Thank you so much for watching. This has been Top 10 Gaming, and I'm your host Amanda McKnight, reminding you to keep on gaming on. Pew pew! Also, my hair is always poking me in my eye. Right now it's really humid and my hair is everywhere. Another huge clue that we get from the security breach with another huge clue that we get from special delivery.